All right, welcome everybody. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday, and welcome to the live stream. Today we're actually starting with something already in the chat. Jaden asks, "Better 1990s show, Boy Meets World or Saved by the Bell?" Well, that's easy. It's a very simple answer, and the answer is Boy Meets World. So at the time, Saved by the Bell was a lot of fun, but on rewatches, Boy Meets World. Okay, so today's topic, we're talking about, again, we're kind of retreading what I talked about earlier this week in my video. My video was about my least favorite streaming service. Someone asked me about this last week in the live stream, and I was intrigued. And was it just the week before that? Maybe it was 2 weeks. Anyway, I was intrigued by that, and so I dug into it a little bit and came up with my ranking of basically premium streaming services. And so we are going to be doing something like that today, but it will be a little bit different in that it'll be about your least favorite streaming services, because I've had my say and I'm interested in what you have to say. Ian, welcome. And Jaden and whoever else is with us already. So as we get started, I will say, as far as giveaways go, yeah, verb tense agreement. It's very important. So you can come right up here, Reviews.org/giveaways. I encourage you to go there. We're doing a gift card or a gift subscription to one of 3 streaming services. We announced this giveaway last week, and the person who administers these giveaways outside of these live streams had to take some time off. And so we aren't going to be able to announce that winner. So instead, what we're going to do is extend that and do an additional winner. So that giveaway, if you liked the looks of that last week, that giveaway is still going on. So pop in, put your name in the hat, and I will draw 2 names next week as winners for that. So hello, Sylvia. Hello, welcome. Happy Friday to all of you. So let's pull up what we're doing. Okay, so like I said, we want to talk today about your least favorite streaming service. So we'll talk about mine. Okay, I'm going to be the only one talking here because that's how these live streams work. But I will want to hear what you have to say as well. So if we are going through our list here. I don't know why it gives me that little. There we go. All right. So what's your pick for worst of the best? So I call it worst of the best for good reason. Pepe says he loves them all. You know what? That's not a bad way to go. And that actually feeds into what I'm talking about here, which is how do I? Oh, no, I don't. I want to get rid of that. There we go. Let's get rid of that too for now. So Pepe says, I love them all. And that's why I'm calling this worst of the best, because frankly, I like all of these too. These are all good streaming services, at least good, if not great. And so as we go through this, I do want to make that perfectly clear. If you hate any of these, you're welcome to. That's fine. I don't hate any of these. I think these are on top of the streaming world for a reason. A lot of people really like all these, but we're picking the worst of the best. So as I mentioned in that video, which should be linked in the description. Yeah, it's linked in the description. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, as I laid out in that video, I couldn't take into account every streaming service. There are thousands of them out there now, at least hundreds of notable ones. But there are so many streaming services, I couldn't take them all into account. So I just did the paid premium on demand. Okay, so when I say that, paid meaning, it's not like Tubi or Crackle or something like that, where you just watch commercials and it's free for you, IMDb TV, that sort of thing, or Pluto. Yeah. So it has to be paid. It has to be premium, meaning that it's not... like you can pay for all sorts of super niche services out there, but these are kind of premium, wide-ranging, a wide audience streaming services. So what did I say? Paid, premium, on demand. Yeah, so no live TV services. So we're not doing YouTube TV. We're not doing Hulu Live or Sling or Fubo or whatever. So paid, premium, on demand. Came up with these 9 services. So Netflix, Paramount Plus, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Peacock, HBO Max, Hulu, Apple TV Plus, and Discovery Plus. So that's what we're going to be ranking today, or kind of talking about. We're going to be talking through each of these, and I'm going to get your thoughts on them. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. So as I want you to be thinking about that. We're going to be talking about pros and cons for each one, but I need to pull this one up because I thought this is great. Let's see. I missed watching it live last week, but thought of a good feature the streamers should add: a block button. So we were talking about this last week, features that streamers should add, and this is so good that I needed to pull it up here on screen for just a moment, because for shows that you've tried but hate, or an actor that you never want to see, that's not a bad idea at all. I think that's a really good idea. You know, the suits at the streaming services might disagree, but hey, there you go. Okay. All right. So as we get into this, let's talk about terms here. Let's see. John Mochi says it's not about the streaming service, it's about the content they own that makes it great or not great. There you go. So that is one way that you can judge these. And I would say that's probably the primary way, but it's not just about the content. It's also about the content. It's about the ease of use. It's about the price that you have to pay, you know, so like the value that you're getting. It may be expensive, but just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's not a great value if they're delivering that, you know, anyway. So, but it's a good point to bring up, John. Let's see. So Pepe is coming in hot, saying already Discovery Plus is at the bottom of the list. Interesting. Okay, Esther, hello from the UK. Hello from the US. I hope this is fun and interesting, even if you're in the UK. So let's see. I heard. Okay, so yeah, and this is not something that we're going to address today, but this could be interesting. You know, as more and more of these services bundle themselves together. You know, a la Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus. It could be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah. So Adam, Kathy agrees with you. That's a great idea. All right. So again, we're not doing live TV content today. Movie content is something that we could talk about as we go through this list. So let's pull up the list again. Okay. So let's start as we're talking about what is going to be the worst of the best. We're going to go through all 9 of these. We'll try to make it quick. You know, I don't want to get bogged down on any one of them, but let's talk about the pros and cons of Netflix. Okay, so let me make this editable again. Oh, wrong button. Okay. So now you're going to see my little screen here. I'm letting you peek behind the curtain, but that's just so I can write these down. Netflix pros and cons. Okay, I'll start with this. Netflix Pro it's got a giant library. It's just got a ton of stuff. Okay, so you'll never not have something to watch on Netflix. Okay, like it's almost literally it might be literally impossible to tap out on Netflix. I mean, in a literal sense. In a practical sense, you might tap out of the stuff that you're interested in, but that would take a long time, right? But it is pricey. Okay, so there's one of my pros and cons. What do you guys think? Pros and cons for Netflix. Okay, so Adam, hold on to that one. He said hates the layout of Prime Video. We're gonna get to Prime Video in a bit. It's a little down the line here. Okay. Interesting how many creators are furious when their stuff winds up on streaming first. Well, I mean, it's look, things are up in the air. The industry is a little bit crazy right now. I don't blame anybody for that, because they probably signed a contract for one thing and then had the rug taken out from under them. So you know, I could see it being very frustrating in the current environment. We'll see how it shakes out. Okay. So con says Ian, favorite content disappears. Okay. Short content contracts, maybe. Is that a fair way to put that? Let's see. Sydney says pro most must-see shows. Okay, that's a good one. Most must-see shows. We'll call them titles because it's tough. You're talking about shows and movies, series and movies. Call them titles. But then also Netflix originals are very hit or miss. Okay, all right. So I like this one because this kind of gets into one of I actually might if you shift the way we look at this, it might actually become a pro because this is kind of a thing that I've talked about with Netflix for a long time, which is where you have something like HBO Max, and we'll get to HBO Max in a few slides. But HBO Max gets a bunch of titles that kind of play to the lowest common denominator, not the lowest common denominator, but they're trying to please the most people with most of their titles that they can. Whereas Netflix is very targeted. And so Netflix might put out, 50 titles this week, but, only like 4 of those are targeted at you. And then, maybe another 10 of them are targeted toward your neighbor's kids or your grandparents or your whatever. And so I think this is a good one from Sydney. The originals are very hit or miss, but I think that's kind of by design because it allows them to make a Netflix experience that's different for everybody. If you logged into my Netflix, you would see very different titles than if you logged into your Netflix, and that might be a pro. All right, so. Marianne says it didn't take me long to not find anything on Netflix. Hey, that it does happen. Pro on all platforms? Are you talking about the giant library? Because not necessarily. All right. Let's see. Netflix original movies are terrible. Well, depends on the original movie. I've seen a couple that were definitely good. Let's see. Oh, okay. First of all, ouch. Astro Josh, ouch. Okay, very ouch. Oh, okay. All right. Netflix is and has been hacked too often. Okay. Um, so yeah, that's not a bad one. Okay, good. So we've got a few cons on Netflix. And you know what? Honestly, when it comes to the pros, I think these are pretty good ones. I'm going to add lots of 4K content compared to some other streamers. They do have a lot of 4K content, which is good. But yeah, I think this is a really good summation of what where Netflix is. So let's do Disney Plus now. Okay. Netflix is very cheap in India. That's true. And Netflix is also it's attached to I can't remember. But anyway, no, that's true. Here in the US, it's what are we up to now? 14, 15 bucks a month for the middle tier. Probably I think it's 14. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, yeah, it is a little pricey compared to other streaming services. Now, there are going to be a few on here that are in that range. But when we're talking about something like Disney Plus, so this one is cheaper than average, I'd say. Or I guess these days about is average. It's what, $8 a month now. But cons, I'd say my biggest con on this is limited content scope. Okay, so basically meaning like you're not really going to find any rated R titles on Disney Plus. I don't know, maybe there are a couple on there, but as a general rule, it's extremely family friendly. Which, hey, I'm a family man. I value that. That's great. But compared to other streaming services, it doesn't have that breadth of content that we might want. So childish content, childlike, Pepe, childlike content. Okay. Okay. So, Ian, is this customized profile content? Is this for Disney Plus, or is this for Netflix? I'm curious. Let's see. YouTube. Oh, let's see. Crest toothpaste is asking about YouTube. We're not doing YouTube because YouTube is not a primarily a paid service. You can pay for it, but we're doing paid, premium, on-demand streaming services here. So let's see. Yeah, we'll get to Hulu. Yeah, so somebody is right. You're not getting the rated R content here on Disney Plus, but you can get that on Hulu and in some other places outside the U.S. Those things are kind of melded together anyway, Disney Plus and Hulu, but not here in the US. They are separated. So let's see. Great for kids, maybe best for kids, honestly. So if you have kids, that's a huge, huge pro. Cons. Uh, oh yeah, okay. Let's see. Star Wars. Marvel, yeah, that's a pro, honestly. I think for most people. So let's see. Okay, Ian, that was for Netflix. All right. So let's see. Well, all right, George. Everybody's jumping the gun. All right, stick with Disney Plus for me here. Let's see. Disney Plus doesn't work for me. Says Overton. R. Overton. I'm going to call you Renee. I don't know what your name actually is, but Renee says, because I own most of the movies. I don't know. I just picked an R name. Because I own most of the movies that are streaming on Disney Plus. If I already own the film, then why stream it on its own platform? I paid for Disney Plus, got bored. Hey, that's totally valid. Oh, here come the Jets. Okay, yeah, we're going to get bombed here in a second. Let's see. So this is a concern for some folks out there who spent years and years building up their library. They love Disney movies, or they love Star Wars and Marvel, and they collected everything they could. And suddenly Disney says, hey, for $7 a month, now it's $8, but you can stream everything that you already bought. And it's like, well, or I could just pop the DVD in, or the VHS if you're really old school. So let's see. Let's see. How would we say this? Okay, hang on. So I'm going to put Disney Vault over here, but then on the con side, how do we put this? Because I think that's a good one. Disney junkies already have what they want. What they want. I can type. Don't worry. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so good. That's pretty good for Disney Plus. That's not the Jets. That's Bob Iger coming for you. Oh, just wait. We haven't even gotten to Prime Video yet. What was I gonna say? I did. Oh, that's right. I went to Barnes and Noble yesterday and bought some books, and I was like, oh, I hope Lord Bezos doesn't find out about this and cut me off. Okay, let's do Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus. This one has a very, very easy con, which is limited content, unscripted only. Okay, now I know that that's an exaggeration. I know there are some titles on there that are scripted, but the vast, vast majority of what's on Discovery Plus, up above 95%, is unscripted content. So, but the pro, let's see. The pro here is that I want to get their exact price. I know it's $5 a month, but for which one? Oh, dang it. I'm actually logged in. Okay. So yeah, what is it? $5 a month or $7 a month to get it? Commercial free. Is that right? I hope I'm doing that right. But either way, it is cheap. Cheap. All right. Let's just put it that way. Cheap. It's got limited content. What else do you guys like or dislike about it? I actually really like the layout. So what am I calling the interface? You guys are unfamiliar with it. Here, let's pull a little Discovery Plus over. Here we go. So Discovery Plus is laid out like this, where you can search based on what you like to watch. Hey, I like home content, food content, paranormal, whatever, documentaries. And so you can go content wise, or if you like a certain channel. Yeah, I really just want to watch Chip and Joanna and Friends all day, right? You can do that. Or you can go to, whichever other channel, A&E, TLC. Is A&E on here? Am I crazy? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I love how they have this laid out. It I think it looks a little better even on the streaming boxes. But these work. This works okay. I'm doing it on the desktop here. So I like the interface layout. Let's see what you guys say. Pro, my mom loves it. You know what? I'm putting that down because it actually gets at an actual pro for this. I mean, that's an individual one, but if we're talking in a wider sense, this is true because it for a certain, shall we say, a certain generation. I feel like such an a-hole when I say things like that. But for a certain generation, I've long said the two things. Well, there were three things holding us up from cutting the cord. It was sports, live sports, news, and this stuff. So the Discovery Plus stuff, all this unscripted content that was, a big draw on cable. And so, I think this is a perfectly valid point. Mom loves it. So yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, what else do we got? Discovery Plus has basically nothing I'm interested in. Tried it, but don't like it. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I think Discovery Plus is really a good streaming service. But I'm with you. I'm not really interested in unscripted content as much as I am scripted content. And so it doesn't hold a lot of appeal to me personally, but I can still recognize kind of from my reviewer's perch here how good it is as a streaming service. But yeah, no, that's totally acceptable. I'm with you there. Tons of Discovery. Yeah, you know what? Let's put that. So limited content here. Let's put this limited content types. But it does have tons of brands or channels. Okay, good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's do Peacock. All right, we got 3 down. We got 6 to go. We'll be doing a few of these. By the way, we're a third of the way through this. We'll try to pick up the pace a little bit. We'll see how we do. But while I'm remembering, I'll remind everybody who wasn't here earlier, then go right up there. Reviews.org/giveaways. Last week, we announced we were doing a gift card to a streaming service, one of 3 streaming services of your choice. So you can go over there to that page, reviews.org/giveaways. I may have forgotten to link to it in the description. I can't remember. Either way, you can just type it in. It's very easy. and as I was telling folks at the very beginning of the stream, last week we did that. And then the person who administers these giveaways, outside of the live streams had to take some time off. And so I'm not able to announce a winner this week. So what we're going to do is just extend this one and add an additional winner. So if you go in there to reviews.org/giveaways, we'll pick 2 winners next week for this one. So yeah, you can still get, I think it's, I'm trying to remember if it's Netflix, Hulu, or Apple TV Plus. Is that what it was? If my memory serves correctly. So yeah, we'll talk about Hulu and Apple TV Plus in just a moment. But for now, okay, let's keep going with Peacock. All right, so what do we got? Peacock pros and cons. Okay, all right. Peacock con, not international. Okay. All right. It's not a con for me because I only live in the U.S. But no, but that's a good one. Pro, lots of unscripted content. I think you mean that on Discovery Plus, and yeah, that could be. All right, sorry. Let's see. Peacock is the bane of my existence. I assume that's a con, Aaron. I think that's a con. Is that right? Interface loads slowly. Okay, interesting. This is a tough one to get after, and I try not to judge most streaming services too harshly on this because it also depends so much on your hardware and on your internet connection. And so it's tough to say like, hey, it's all Peacock's fault. But that being said, I will say I have noticed that Peacock and HBO Max both are relatively slow loading. So I'll go ahead and put that on here. It runs a bit slow. Your mileage may vary, but that's a good one. All right. So Astro Josh says it's free, right? That's true. There's a free tier. So yeah, like I said, we're talking about paid premium on-demand streaming services, and so I'm not doing free services. But Peacock is a little bit different because they have a free tier, but you only get half the content that they have with the free tier. So that is a thing. Never heard of Peacock, says Esther. Oh boy. Well, there you go. Now you have. Peacock is NBC's streaming service. So lots of NBC Universal content on there. Okay, let's see. Crashes when I'm on the grid guide, but they have Sunday Night Football. Huh. Did you guys, by the way, did you see my I did a video a couple weeks ago about NFL, streaming the NFL. It is such a mess. You never know where to stream an NFL game because it's like, it's on Peacock. No, it's only on ESPN. And no, ESPN's got Monday Night Football, and Amazon bought Thursday Night Football rights. And, and it's just like scattered all over the place. And sometimes, like, the easiest thing, certainly the simplest thing to do would be to just buy cable so you can watch the NFL. Now, obviously, that's not going to be it's a no-go for a lot of people, but that is not a crazy conclusion to come to. Crashes when you're on the grid guide. So, and this is one of those ones where I won't put down crashing just because I haven't had a problem with this. And I haven't heard of this being a problem, but so sometimes it's, like I said, the machine that you're running it on or the internet connection you've got. This is a problem with Apple TV Plus on the Chromecast for me. Like, they just don't play nice together, but I can watch Apple TV Plus on any other streaming device and it works just fine. So yeah, it's tough to lay all the blame for the crashes on Peacock, but it could be. I'm not saying it's not. It's just tough to say. Okay, WWE content. You know what? I'm going to put that down. Not because it interests me terribly. I didn't grow up watching wrestling. It's not a big deal for me, but I know a lot of people love it. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. In fact, it's such a big deal. They have its own section. So it's like live TV, sports, news, WWE on Peacock. It's pretty great. Okay, next day NBC shows. All right, I like that. That's a good one. Peacock has a terrible interface, but I like the content. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I do not care for the interface on Peacock, so maybe I'll put that as a. But now Aaron is saying crashes constantly. Interesting. Okay, well, if enough of you say this, and don't just say it. I mean, this is for posterity. Okay, so be honest. But if enough of you say that it crashes on you, then maybe that'll go in the con pile here. Let's see. Well, okay. So John, because it's supported by a cable company, they all are. Like, this is if we go back to our let's see. Okay, let's go back here. CBS. Okay, Netflix is independent. Amazon is not a cable company, but let's be honest, they're much bigger than a cable company these days. Disney is Disney. So ABC, whatever. Peacock is NBC. Discovery is its own cable network, so Discovery Networks. Hulu is mostly Disney now, with a smattering of others. Apple is kind of in the same boat as Amazon. HBO is owned by AT&T. So, like, anyway, I get your point, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say sorry. That's that just kind of applies to all of them. So, okay, here we go. Lots of retro. Ooh, okay, retro titles. Oh boy, you guys are making quite the case for Peacock here. And not just retro TV either, because they have the NBC Universal vault. They've got a lot of classic movies as well, retro movies. All right. Well, okay, let's see what else you guys are saying. Free tier plus NBC on my antenna with the recording feature. Oh, interesting setup that you got there, George. Okay. Okay, so most of you are saying that crashing isn't as much an issue for you. So, all right, that's good to know. It's the only streamer that has Beetlejuice. I think I'm pretty much out of room. So, but that could go in the in the pro column. Beetlejuice is in fact Fantastic. Has individual show shuffle. Oh, you know what, Chris? Oh, if this is true, you're my hero for bringing this up. Okay, so you know what I'm doing? We're turning on Discovery, or what did you say? Discovery Plus? Okay, so this is my big idea. And if this gets implemented widely across streaming services, then I want credit, preferably royalties, but I'll take credit. Okay, so let's go to something with a lot of episodes. So, what's a title on Discovery Plus that has a lot of episodes? Should we do? Okay, yeah, food. If we go to food, then we can do like diners, drive-ins, and dives, right? Okay, so no, you guys don't get to watch this because I don't know why. Because I don't want to turn my camera. Okay. Diners, drive-ins, and dives has like what 20 some odd seasons on here. Okay, so I've got resume, I've got my list. I do not see a shuffle button. I don't see a shuffle button, you guys. I don't think this is real. Chris, have you led me astray? What do you watch on, Chris? Because it could be different, like if you're on a PC, if you're on your phone, whatever. Holy smokes, you guys. There are 40 seasons of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. 40. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So yeah, I didn't see it, but I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that. But Chris, no, I'm genuinely curious. Where do you stream it? Where did you find that button? Because that'd be very cool. Okay, so let's get back to our thing here. All right, that was Peacock. We're like halfway through, you guys. HBO Max. Let's see if we can fly through these other ones. HBO Max is expensive. Okay, it just is. $15 a month. I mean, you can do the commercial supported tier, which is a pro. So that's a pro. Let's see. Theater releases, we'll say free. I mean, free, whatever, just meaning that you don't have to pay extra like you do on Disney Plus. Disney Plus has been releasing stuff in theaters and online, but you got to pay $30 for that. HBO Max has not been doing that, which won't last, you guys. It's not going to last. They're not going to continue doing that, but it has been nice this year. So let's see. Yeah, quality. Let's put that one right up top. Quality content. Quality content. I'm putting that under the pros. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, so I think we got that on there, Josh. The first run WB movies. All right, there we go. Let's see, did I miss anything? Good. Okay. Separate Looney Tunes channel. All right. Yeah, you know what? This kind of gets into the layout. In fact, I'll just go ahead and pull up the layout so I can kind of look at it while I'm talking to you guys about it. Although, like I said, it is a little bit slower. So we'll put this one slow interface just because it's so robust as an interface. It just takes a lot of time to get that all pulled up. I meant pro, says Pepe. This is awesome. Okay, what were we talking about this on Disney, where it's narrowly tailored? The same with Discovery Plus. Wide variety of content. Yeah, I think that's a huge pro. And we're going to come back to that point in a little while. Okay. Let's see. Ad free with AT&T service. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think if that's a pro relative to other streaming services. It's definitely a pro if you're an AT&T Unlimited customer, but in relation to other services, because you can get other services with other plans, so I think that is a pro. I just don't think it would go on this particular list. Okay. Hard to find shows. Interesting. I have not had this problem on HBO Max. But I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Okay. DC, John Oliver, you guys are saying. Doctor Who. Yeah, a lot of people love Doctor Who. Hey, I'm heading to our local Comic-Con after this at some point this afternoon. So, nerds of the world unite. Right. Here, let's get rid of that thing for a little while. Okay. Again, never heard of Max. More in the USA than in the UK. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be a thing. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and call it that. HBO Max has a lot of good pros and cons. All right, now we come to a very controversial one. All right, Apple TV Plus, which I hope you guys can see that it's nice and blended with the gray background, right? Let's see. We maybe can come back to HBO Max. You guys have a couple other things to say about it. Okay, Apple TV Plus. This was my pick for the worst of the best, which, as I said in the video earlier this week, it truly broke my heart because I love Apple TV Plus. I love so much about it. Really just kind of comes down to the content. I love so much of their content. So I'm going to go ahead and just unilaterally put that on there. High quality content. But the con is not much of it. Let's okay, fine. We'll keep it to one line. So we got high quality content. It is. Oh, no, that's a pro. It's cheap. $5 a month if you have to pay for it at all. Yeah, the Apple One bundle is pretty sweet. That is a good pro. So Comic-Con is 20 miles south, so we'll be safe there. Let's see. High quality shows. Cost. Yeah. Oh, okay. So sorry, back on the Discovery Plus, Chris says it's only for certain shows, but those shows have live channels that shuffle the episodes. Try something like Property Brothers. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look into that. Thank you for the tip, Chris. That's I hope more people glom onto that. Not much use of Verity, but I assume you mean Variety, George. So yeah, it works. It does not work only on Apple devices. Actually, I watch it on my Roku, so you can watch it on just about anything these days. So yeah, Apple TV Plus is all over the place. That being said, earlier I did say, let's see. Let's put it this way: glitchy outside Apple. Okay, so I will grant you that. So wait, who was it that said that? No, you don't. So yeah, you do not have to have Apple products to begin streaming with Apple TV Plus. In fact, I started streaming before I had bought a single Apple product. I just used it on my Roku. And then later on, I ended up buying an iPad for other reasons. But yeah, you do not have to have an Apple product to stream Apple TV Plus. Very good, but very expensive in the UK. Interesting, because it's so cheap here. It's $5 a month. I'd be interested, Esther, to hear how expensive it is over there. Let's see. Oh man, you guys have a lot to say about Apple TV Plus. I can't keep up with it, so I'm sorry if I'm missing some things. Yeah, you watch it on your Chromebook. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So, all right, this is Joe brings up something that I think a lot of people probably do, which is just binge it really quickly and then call it good, and that's okay. Let's see. So, I think this actually sums it up really nicely. Let's go. Let's move on to Paramount Plus. All right, Paramount Plus pros. Keep library. They do tend to have a lot of deals to lower the cost compared to other streamers. Cons, lackluster originals. What else you guys got? Hello, Xavier. Oh, what did I miss? There we go. So that's true. kind of put that under cheap. That lives in the same brain space for me. Okay, Paramount Plus. Oops, Depp library. Yeah, maybe they have every Johnny Depp movie. That'd be great. Let's see. Is Pluto on there? That's a good question. I don't know if they stream Pluto on Paramount Plus. Showtime bundle. Okay. Let's see. What's PP? Oh yeah, the live. Oh yeah, live local stream. That is a really good one. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we'll pull up Paramount Plus. Yeah, my whole left side of my face turned blue. No, they don't. Okay, all right. Best all around. Well, okay. Well, KM Rocker 69. We're going to be getting there in just a little while. Extensive Star Trek content. Hey, if you love Star Trek, you love Star Trek. There you go. Okay, this is a good one. Lots of incomplete libraries. I haven't been using it a ton lately, and so I'm going off of memory. But as memory serves, that is accurate. Where they'll give you a few seasons of some show, but then hide the rest of it. Live CBS is only on ad free. That's true. Yeah, that's a really good point. On premium. Okay. Lots of sports, soccer. Boy, you guys are really making a case for this. The problem is like the deep library. I don't know. It doesn't hold the same appeal for me as some of the other libraries. But hey, we'll leave it there. Okay, so yeah, I don't think they do. Do they do Pluto on here? I'm looking right now to see if because yeah, you're right. Viacom CBS owns Pluto. Obviously, they also own Paramount Plus, but I don't know if they mix those. I don't think so. They probably have some channels in common with the live TV stuff, but yeah, no, they don't do Pluto. So, okay, good. It's usually chalked up to something like this, expiring contracts. So yeah, this is one that could fix itself over time. Oh, there go the Jets again. So incomplete seasons, yeah, we will put that as a con, but that's one that may rectify itself in the future. So yeah, I didn't think that they had Pluto, but I thought I'd dip in and double check just to make sure. Okay, Prime Video. All right, this is the part where we get to really take it to Lord Bezos. All right, so what are our pros and cons? Things that we love, things that we don't love. How about comes with Prime, which we all have anyway, right? Okay, not all of us, but many of us have Amazon Prime. Let's see, what else do we got? What do you want for Prime Video? Pros and cons. Another pro for Prime Video might be they do have. It's a large library, but it's this is the best I can come up with. So much of the content on Prime Video, it feels like stuff that you would find on the really, really kind of like substandard free streaming services, where it's like a lot of what in the 90s would have been direct to video, direct to DVD, whatever. A lot of that kind of content you come across on Prime Video. So, okay. Let's see. IMDb TV included. Okay, so this is an interesting one. And Andy, we're going to come to hard to navigate in just a moment. But IMDb TV included. I'm actually going to put this in the cons, not because I don't like IMDb TV, which is great. But it mixes from several platforms. So there we go. All right. So the reason I put that in the cons is because they include IMDb TV in there. you'll often come to a result. Maybe you're searching for a title and you're like, oh, sweet. This happened to me with Fringe. Okay, so that was one of my favorite TV shows from a decade ago, I guess it was now. Gosh. But I loved Fringe. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if they have Fringe. Oh, sweet. It's on Prime Video. So I open up Prime Video. And it turns out it was on IMDb TV. And so it ran commercials. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm watching this on Prime Video. I pay for Prime Video. Why am I watching commercials? So they mix those results, they mix those platforms together. And so while it is good that you can get the content, it's not good that they keep you guessing about where this content is coming from and whether you're going to have to watch commercials and all that stuff. And a lot of times they'll have, because it's Prime Video, because they're trying to get you to rent or buy a lot of titles, they will list something in the search results. And only when you go to that title do you realize, oh, they don't actually have this for me to stream unless I rent or buy it. So yeah, that sort of thing is a little bit frustrating for me. All right. So Andy says, Prime Video, hard to navigate. Okay. So let's see. Hard to navigate. I think I don't know about hard to navigate, but it is frustrating to navigate because they have the most ads. I'm going to put that on there. Most ads on the interface. So I'm not talking about while you're watching your content, but the ads on the interface. Let's see. So Pepe likes the mature original content. Okay, so this ain't Disney Plus, right? So you do get something like The Boys, which I just restarted a week ago, and oh boy, talk about mature content. Yeah. Oh man, Con doesn't run 4K. It's weird resolution and audio is really low. Let's see, since it was released, same interface since it was released, roughly, kind of. Yeah, I could get with you on this. I will say, like I said in my video earlier this week, they have, unless you're on a Fire TV device, so Fire Stick, Fire Cube, Fire TV, Smart TV, unless you're on one of their pieces of hardware, they serve up the ugliest resolution you've ever seen for a streaming service. If it's running in 360p, I'd be surprised. It looks more like 240 maybe. So yeah, it is shocking to me that they run it so low. But yeah, Prime's pros, cons for content, cheesy content or chessy content. No, I think that's on Netflix, right? Was that Queen's Gambit? Let's see, random shows on Prime. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, Kathy, with the odd titles. It's like, wait, what? You have what on here? There you go. If Amazon gets NFL Sunday Ticket, it's all over for satellite dishes. Yeah, I mean, when NFL Sunday Ticket goes, and eventually when ESPN is fully streamable, then it's all over. Okay. I bought the Fringe box set. Me too. All right. So, sorry, I'm just glancing through here, making sure I didn't miss anything that's like way out of what I have already put on here. But yeah, I think we're good on Prime Video. Pros and cons. Last one is Hulu, and then we'll discuss my ranking. Hulu. All right. So pros and cons for Hulu. Let's see. You know what? Con is I just logged in. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? I think it was 2 nights ago, and I got the notification. Hey, you're going up by another $1. So I think they're at $13 a month now for the ad-free Hulu, which, I mean, that's a lot. It's getting more expensive. We're up into Netflix territory now, where Hulu, that was one of the selling points for Hulu a couple of years ago, where it was like Netflix was, I think at the time it was like $13 a month, but you could still get Hulu commercial free for like $8. And so it's like, hey, $5 a month cheaper. That's not nothing. But now it's definitely getting up into Netflix territory. Fresh episodes, and I like that. You said that just right, Pepe. I think don't need to change that at all. Fresh episode. Yeah, I like it. Okay. All right. What else we got? Con, I can't watch American Crime Story impeachment. I don't know what that is. So So I wouldn't know about that. Commercials are so loud. All right. You're not the first person to say this. And I know this doesn't happen with every commercial. Um, you're not the first person to say this. I know this is a thing on Hulu where if you are watching commercials, they do bump it up a few decibels, and yeah, it can get to be a bit much. All right. Esther's never heard of Hulu. Hasn't heard of a lot of things here in the U.S. We've got a lot of streaming services. So Esther, next time you're here, you'll have a lot to choose from. Hulu is my favorite, says Aaron. All right. Well, we haven't even gotten to a ranking yet, but all right. There's nothing to watch on Hulu without spending more money on more channels. I don't think I agree with that. Hulu's got a lot of great content. Too many ads. I did not find this to be the case. That's interesting you say that. I did a video a few weeks ago on who had the most commercials, and Hulu did fine. They did fine. Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about this a little earlier, John. Stinks outside of Amazon products. Yeah, it really does. Commercial free is not actually commercial free. I think that's a great con, Kathy. So yes, thank you for bringing that up. Commercial free isn't. Not entirely. So if they have like a really premium show or something that it may be written into a contract that they have with whoever they're licensing the content from, that they have to run ads on it, for whatever reason. Where it doesn't happen too often, but you will run into it even if you pay that now $13 a month for Hulu, where you still have to watch ads, and it's very frustrating. So like I said, it doesn't happen super often, but when it does, it's super jarring, and you're left wondering, wait a minute, why did I pay for this if I'm just going to have to watch commercials anyway? It's, unbelievably frustrating. CBS screwed it up, said David. It was a great idea at first. Everyone for themselves. Yeah, I mean, it was destined to go that way. I think, you're right. When Hulu first came out, it was a fantastic idea. Next day streaming of like all 4 networks, big shows. So yeah, it was a great idea. But now it's basically just its own thing, right? So, but they all are, as you say. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. So let's see. Tons of channels. I'm going to go with another lots of content on this one. They do have a deep library, a lot of stuff on there, but the con is a very good one. Let's see. Lack classic content. Yeah. I guess we could put an of in there, keep it on one line. A lack of classic content, basically just meaning like, if it came out in the last year, yeah, you might be able to watch it on Hulu. But if it came out 20 years ago or 40 years ago, yeah, you're not going to find it there. So yeah, that's a pretty good one. Lots of content with Alec Baldwin. Okay, all right. That's good. Oh man, you used to have a free version. Tell me about it. Okay, so Xavier says Hulu's not the best. They're right there with Apple. Okay, so man alive, those Jets are going crazy today, aren't they? But this is just this is part of the live stream experience that you get here on Reviews.org. As Reviews.org under the Air Force Base. All right. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and blow this up just a little bit more. And let's go through my ranking. All right. This is my ranking. And then I want you guys to provide your own ranking. You can do it this way if you want, or you can just do straight like 1 through 9. I'd love to hear what your rankings are, though, as we're wrapping this up. So basically, these are ranked in order. But I separated it into 3s, right? Since we had 9, the top shelf, the maybes, and the think hard before you subscribe. So top shelf, HBO Max, Netflix, and Disney Plus. If you got these, what's that? So that's 15. Netflix is at $15 a month now, I want to say. So let's call it $38 a month to get all 3 of these. But if you do boy, does that cover your bases. That's a ton of good content. The maybes, these are the ones where it's like Prime Video, you probably already have it anyway. Hulu, you might want it if they have some originals you're really into. And Paramount Plus is, they've got a lot of great content as well. I have my frustrations with them, but I think they kind of fit into that category as well. And then the Think Hards, Peacock, I should say, don't think hard before downloading the Peacock app, because you can always get the free version and just, if they have what you want to watch and it's for free, great. And what I mean is think hard before you pay them for a premium tier for $5 or $10 a month. That was another con with Peacock, is that they have 3 tiers instead of 2, and it can get a little confusing what you get with each tier. So let's see. Yeah, think hard. Apple TV Plus, again, this is on the bottom of my list, but not in the bottom of my heart, or however I should have said that. Apple TV Plus is one of my favorites, but trying to be objective, I recognize that not everybody's going to be into it. So it hits the bottom of my list here. Discovery Plus, we already talked about that. Just very focused niche content. But what are you guys at? All right, let's see what we've got. Aaron says Hulu, Discovery Plus makes number 2. Wow. Netflix, Disney Plus, and Peacock. Okay. Not an HBO Max person here, Aaron. Let's see. The 749. Yeah, so they may have a deal going on right now. Andy has the right idea here. Andy understands. I keep forgetting my mug for these. I need my mug that says Craig is always right. Let's see. Netflix, Hulu, and Peacock. Wow. Okay. So, and I'm curious about this. We have a couple more minutes before I call it quits here, because I've got a podcast I've got to make today. But in the next couple of minutes, I'm specifically curious to hear what you all think of HBO Max, because this one is so, to me, it is so incandescently obvious that even if it's not number 1, it should be on the top shelf. If only because this is kind of what I was thinking of earlier in the live stream when I said we talk about value, right? So just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's not a good value. In fact, I think the value of Netflix is much more arguable than the value of HBO Max. $15 a month for HBO Max, or 10 if you want to go the commercial supported route. But with the library they've got, the breadth of content, the kids content, the brand new stuff, the deep library, the HBO library, HBO Max, it seems inarguable to me that it should be on this row. Again, you can shift it around within there, but at no point would I ever drop HBO Max down to these 2 rows. But that's me. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Too expensive. And yeah, I mean, I get that. Like I said, I understand that it's a little expensive. Somebody was asking about the merger, HBO and Discovery. Is that happening? I will do a video on that. Okay, so how's that? I will answer that in a video. The reason I'm pushing it off right now is because I don't have enough details to be like, all right, here's what's happening. But if I do a video on it, then I'll have to sit down, do some research, and make sure I get all the right answers for you. So like and subscribe. I don't have any maybes or think cards. Just subscribe to all of them. Just get them all. Okay. Let's see. HBO Max, Peacock Premium, and Discovery Plus. Wow. Okay. That's a good list. I like that list. Okay. So let's see. I want to see what you guys had to say about HBO Max. How do I like, comment, and share on YouTube? How do I like, comment, and share on YouTube? I think you can. You've got this, Selena. Okay. All right. I'll give HBO Max a try for at least a month. You should. You'll fall in love. Yeah, you'll really, really dig it. So let's go ahead and let's call it there. Like I said, I've got a podcast I'm going to be making, but I'm going to throw this up one more time. Just remind you all to go check out the giveaways. So I think we've got, Okay, we've got, oh, I can't reach my finger all the way over there. Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV Plus, if I recall the trio correctly. If you go to if you go to reviews.org/giveaways, I can tickle it right there. Then you can enter to get a gift card for, I believe it's a 1-year subscription to the. I need to double check. You can go check the terms and conditions. I'm just going to do that right now. Reviews.org/giveaways. I know how to type. Okay. In fact, let's go ahead and put this on the screen here. Okay. So this week's giveaway. There we go. All right. So what are we doing? Yeah, it is a year. Good. A gift card for a year subscription of your choice between Netflix, Hulu, or Apple TV Plus. So all you need to do is go on this page. You enter in your info. I know it asks for your email address twice. We're going to fix that. Sorry about that. It's just kind of one of those weird things. So is this little circle that ended up on the graphic here for the weekly giveaways. I'll fix that later too. But yeah, you put a couple things in here. And in case you're worried about like email harvesting, like are they just going to send me a bunch of stuff all the time? Right here, you can consent to receive marketing emails from reviews.org, yes or no. Basically, all that is, like marketing emails, we're basically sending out a digest of like, here are the reviews we did this week. There's stuff on the YouTube channel. We do reviews on the site. And so it's not like, hey, we're going to sell you a bunch of stuff. It's more just like a digest of what reviews.org has been up to. But yeah, you can still opt out of that. So yeah, it's super easy to enter. And what I'm going to do, because I can't announce a winner this week, we're extending this for another week. And I'm going to announce 2 winners next week. So please go and do that. It will be great. It'll be great. And I will love to see you all next week here. Same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here, reviews.org. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and for coming to these live streams. I have a great time. I hope you have a great time. And now I have a good sense of what you all think about these 9 premium streaming services, which is opinions are all over the map. So basically I can go on the channel and say whatever I want and it'll be true for somebody. So that's the takeaway here for me. All right. So let's see. Do you have to enter the giveaway again if you entered last week? No, you don't. Your name is still in there, so no worries at all. We've got your back there. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll see you next week for a video and a live stream. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. Get out there. Enjoy the last few weeks of